Hey guys, and welcome back to the Green Witch Homestead. So I know it's been a while since we've been on YouTube. We've had a lot of projects that we were doing, had a lot of reorganizing of the farm and re-evaluating how we were going to move forward. But we're back. We got a few more projects, and I wanted to share this one with you because it's something that we've kind of been in the works with mentally for several years now, and we finally have all of the pieces we need to put it together and get it going. One of the major inconveniences that we have with this house is this front room, which just doesn't work. It's got this huge fireplace. It's in the middle of a wall. You can't do anything with it. It's the main pathway, would block any furniture going across from the fireplace. So it basically just turns into a kind of a storage room for us, which is not good. So we've decided we're going to actually set this room up kind of like an indoor grow space with grow lights and an aquaponics system and a few other things that we're going to be putting into place. And today we are getting the last steps together on the aquaponics system. So this room is kind of in construction, but one of the things that we scored down here at Heath's feet is this huge plexiglass fish tank. We're going to use it for our aquaponics system. He's cutting out a piece of foam board right now to go underneath the tank. It'll get squished more than likely with the weight of the water, but it'll at least keep it from being directly on the concrete floor. So we're not exactly sure on the size of this tank. Like I said, it was a score. We got it for free, and we're kind of guesstimating around 100, 150 gallons, maybe more, maybe less. And it's more than enough to put a couple fish in and keep this system circulated. As of right now, the setup that we're going to be doing is mostly for growing greens like lettuces and kales and things that have a quick turnaround rate. We may update in the future, but for now, this is what we're doing, and it's kind of neat. So the foam board is because we have, like I said, a concrete floor, and this is going to kind of help insulate the tank as well as help level it out. So that's what we're doing. He's peeling this plastic piece off here. Ooh, can you get it all in one go? The biggest reason for the foam board, which you can see is underneath now, is insulation. But again, when he put this down, it was wobbling because this is a very old house and a very old concrete floor, so it's not completely stable. And as you can see now, there's no wobble to it. And it'll settle even more once the weight of the water gets in there. This is the basic aquaponics or hydroponics setup that we have to use with this tank. It's PVC pipes, different sizes, connectors, and it's got this little tiny pump. Last night I got this all set up, just this part here, and I did a test run on it with the timer that comes with the pump and all the different setup. This entire system, when running, holds about 6-7 gallons of water in the system itself. I was concerned with backflow when the pump timer turns off, how much backflow would go back into the tank, and it's actually not that much. It's maybe a half a gallon. So that's not an issue. We don't have to worry about overflow or backfilling too much out into the fish tank. And it does have enough to pull the water through the whole system when I did the test run at ground level, but because the pump's going to be sitting further down in the tank, we may have to get a new pump for it. It's got 108 holes. I will have to get a step ladder to get up here, but the nice thing about it is that with these racks like this, I can hang grow lights. So each level will have its own set of grow lights, and we'll be able to grow lettuces and other leafy greens inside all winter long. The end goal is for the fish waste to feed the plants, and then we feed fish, and it's just a constant cycle. As of right now, we're probably just gonna set it up, run the cycle, and do it as a hydroponics setup where we put nutrients into the water to feed any plants that we're gonna start growing right now because we don't have any fish. The goal is to have tilapia, something that we can eat. We might do catfish. I don't know how many catfish I can keep in this tank. We'll probably just start the cycle out when we switch over from the nutrients to the fish. We may actually just start out with goldfish. I know they have a very high nitrogen turnaround rate, so they're a really good fish to get an aquaponics system up and off the ground. Some of the other things that I tested with it last night was how long it takes water to travel through the entire system. I did some food color, and it takes about 2.5 minutes for the food color to from the pump to get all the way back out to the drain pipe. So only about 2.5 minutes of running will cycle the water completely through. So the 15 minutes on, 60 minutes off seems to be where I'm gonna have it for now. Main thing to do right now is we're gonna put some water in the tank, cycle it through, see how this pump works. We're gonna run it as a hydroponics for now, just to get some greens growing on it. I've got to get the grow lights hung up. Depending on the grow lights that I have, if I'm gonna have 1 per level or 2 per level, and I'm gonna have to figure out some way of suspending a grow light from up here as well for the top row. We do have the tank filled, not all the way, could go another 2 or 3 inches or so. The pump is enough to get it all the way up, and if you can hear it, it is flowing through the system. We're just waiting for it to come out the last little bit, and it'll come out here. Just like that. This stream here will pick up a little bit as the flow levels out, but that's gonna basically be it. It's gonna aerate the water. I may have to adjust this slightly so it's closer to, so we don't get that much of a splash. So it comes with these foam squares, which are actually all attached together. They pull apart and they fit. You can kind of see it. They fit into each little cup, and they have little tears in them, which I've put in some lettuce seeds, and you float it in your water feed solution to germinate your seeds. So once these guys have their first set of true leaves, they'll come out, be broken up, and put into the hydroponics system. Officially, garden season has begun. It is January 16th. We've got the hydroponics, aquaponics system up and running. I've got my seeds started for my first round of lettuce. I have collected a couple little goldfish that I am going to throw into the tank, and just to kind of get the nitrogen cycle started on the whole system. We'll do some measurements, checks and balances, just to make sure I don't want my plants starving and I don't want my fish being burnt out. If you guys have any questions or you want more detail on how the build and how the aquaponics system works, feel free to ask down in the comments. Let me know. I can do a couple shorts a little bit more detailed on individual components of the aquaponics system. And I will be keeping you posted on here with shorts as we grow, as well as on TikTok, just to kind of like seeing how things grow through the system and how it all works out. Like I said at the beginning of the video, we have a lot more projects happening here on the farm. We are working on a new enclosure for the ducks to move them down around the pond in the big field. We also will be doing a couple chicken tractors to have some more of our meat birds out free ranging in the big field, and have my showbirds up here. I will be going full on into more details with my showbird breeding and how I segregate my birds so that I can guarantee that I have pure lineage, as well as some of the little things that I do with keeping my breed stock and what I look for when I am breeding birds for show quality. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, or just want to follow along and see how we are here on the homestead with all of our canning stuff, our preserving stuff, as we're coming into spring, just give us a like, hit the thumbs up down below, and let us know that you're here. And remember guys, get out there and get your hands dirty.